are you talking about?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Watching Pixels Dry. Now, guys, I didn't realize that being reformed out of many random atoms would feel so good.
I know,
And
right?
I've been addicted to the feeling ever since. It's kind of sad that I'll never.
Yeah,
have
no,
that
I
again.
mean, I've seen you in your room just tinkering, like creating your own sort of life forms.
I know. I've been making devices and trying to invent life. You know,
to harness life.
Kappa
it's been weird.
Kappa injected his sperm into an egg and made a little homunculus. He smashed it with a bite.
Okay.
We're not even at the
I didn't do all
mark,
that.
Brady.
It's spit acid.
I was gonna say.
Then
Okay.
bleep it. It's fine.
We gotta introduce ourselves. So, of course, many viewers of the podcast are familiar with three of us. I'm Mike.
I'm Sammy.
Do you want to go? I'm DC. I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could go. I mean, it would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
I mean,
And
no,
now-
I insist.
Since
graciously.
Rowan was killed by a sword falling from the
Tragic.
sky during
Very
one of our
violent.
last record. It was really scarring.
Really unlikely. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It was
I
an
go to
airplane
therapy
sword
every
accident.
Thursday for it.
But with that all in mind, we managed to do a bit of tinkering, reformed Kappa, and Kappa is here with us, and as a permanent member.
Yeah.
Are y'all
So-
keeping
Yes,
track with the
so-
lore?
Yeah, you got to keep track of the lore. No,
Yeah.
I was on the last episode as a guest, and it's been 9 months since then.
So fucking. We could have had a whole baby.
Yeah, we could have. The Watching Pixels
That was
Dry
Kappa.
baby.
That's why I was.
That was,
it's
yeah,
like-
it took that long for Kappa to grow.
It's the same as the Eraserhead baby, actually.
Yeah,
It's the Watching
exactly.
Pixels Dry baby.
Mike, put an
no,
edit
but
of him on screen.
no,
What?
don't do that. But no, we've had 9 months to kind of interact and
forge a friendship.
They've chained me up
Oh,
to a
yeah.
doghouse and slowly but
Throw him our
surely
scraps.
conditioned me. So
And we
Yeah.
chain him up and we sit around him and make him do the meatwad voice and
Yeah.
cackle, and that's
And Donald Trump voice.
Donald Trump. Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Can we talk about, like, we tried. We didn't mean to stop doing it for 9 months.
No.
We really didn't. We tried to record like 3 episodes.
I think
was it?
we tried to record one with Callum, but he had the
Yeah.
worst microphone known to man, and
Yeah.
and it just fell through.
One
And
day we
were-
will record with Callum.
And the problem is with Callum is that he's like, you know, if you've seen Interstellar, he's like the concept of that movie. Like, he just lives on a different time scale. So when he
Yeah.
says I'll be back in a week, you best believe you won't see that man for 3 months.
Yeah.
that's
So
real.
it's like it was inconvenient timing.
Callum is actually, like, theoretical as a person. Like, he's not really
true.
here.
He's more of an ethos, I would say.
He's a good idea, but we haven't developed him yet.
Exactly. But yeah, I think part of the reason we just didn't make the podcast is because we were just cooking with Kappa as a friend. Like, we've
Also
just
busy
spent.
shit.
Yeah, we have been busy as hell. I've moved house. God, the Freddy
We've all
Dread
had a
video.
lot of stuff.
The Freddy Dread video finally came out
Dude.
and flopped. But I'm content with that. I'm a much better person than I was 9 months ago. So it's like,
Your TikTok got stolen.
yeah, I got hacked in the same week as I got fired from my job, which was sad.
Damn.
Lost my TikTok account. That was a rough month. 2023 was a year for me, certainly.
Mike lost everything over the span of 9 months.
Kind of did, but it gave me the opportunity to grow back, and I mean, we're here now, so it's good.
Like a
Yeah,
baby
I mean
fungus.
the Lego videos you've been doing now have been incredible.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in the last episode, I was like, I had like a gleam in my eye. I was like, oh, I'm gonna start college, and it's gonna be awesome. Like the last time I recorded, and now I dropped out of college. I'm back living. I'm back leeching off of my parents. I had my taste of freedom and I hated it, so I'm
No.
back now.
Sammy-
2023's been a time.
Sammy almost worked for an evil mouse called Steamboat Willie.
I
who
did
we
almost
legally
work for
have.
an evil mouse. I got offered a job.
Mike, put the entirety of Steamboat Willie in the episode.
That's 7 minutes long.
We can do it though. It doesn't matter.
I guess, but like, why?
I don't know. We can do it. Who cares?
Yeah, last time we talked, I mean, I'm really bad at keeping track of like life events and that kind of thing. I've been smoking big herb. I've been I started going to college actually. So same as Sammy. Sammy didn't go to specifically art school, but I'm going to art school. Big money hole, as it were. But it's been really fun so far. I've developed my skills a lot more. It's been good for like socialization. Living in the city has been awesome. I love the city.
Yeah. It's been really cool watching you improve as you've gone to school.
Yeah, thank you.
And guys, Jesse has been fucking cooking. Like, you need to, if you haven't seen the lock-in short, I highly recommend it. That shit.
Yes,
dude, there's a shot in that video that cracks me up every single time without fail. Like, every single time. So if you want to
check that out, if you want to check that out, you can go to my channel, Hyper the Kappa. I don't know will that be linked below?
Of course.
Yeah, that'll be linked below, of course.
Scroll
perfect.
The entire.
But yeah, it's called Lock In. It's a little short film I did. I had a lot of fun with it. So if you check it out, I'd give you a big kiss on the lips.
And check out Kappa's Newgrounds page.
Also, with Snapchat, it's private, but you can unlock access to it.
There's some crazy shit on there. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Like Kappa sat on traffic
big
cone
feet
fully, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
violent, really.
Like, they say that like it only expands to 10 inches, right?
Okay. We got to get off that one. We can't be doing that.
The thing is, as well, like, all of us have had pretty significant changes to our daily lives, I would say. I started working out as well, but that's like not really that big a deal. But DC,
very nice.
DC, I don't know what's happened to you since the last 9 months. Like,
oh boy, you see,
you fumbled 7 femboys. I know that much.
Yes, but my memory is like in a quantum state. It's either there, it's not. It's not there.
Yeah,
for
it's not
something
there.
like 9 months ago. No,
okay.
What the fuck happened?
9 months ago.
I don't even remember anything happened.
9 months ago was one of the first things we did with Kappa when we started hanging out with him regularly was we were watching the Aaron Fector video for the first time with Jesse, and Jesse was high on shrooms.
I was gonna say you could say that.
Jesse was high on shrooms while we were watching this frightening video of the man who made the Rockafire explosion animatronics, and this dude's insane.
Okay.
I feel like we've spoke about this on the podcast.
We absolutely have, but just for those who might have missed it, there's something I do as an icebreaker whenever I talk to a new group. It's like one of the first things I did on call with Mike when we first started talking.
Yeah, it's actually pretty much how our friendship started.
Yeah. There's this like tour of Aaron Fector, who again made like Rockafire Explosion and all that shit. And he's taken on this tour of this building, of this landscape that is a fucking it's like the craziest shit ever. And like the facts that you learn from that video, some of them are true, some of them are not provable. But it's fascinating gentleman. But he's also
a specimen. He will get a movie about him by 824.
They showed me this video while I was geeking off shrooms, and though it was like it's a creepy video, but I was having a blast while we were watching it. It's this guy who, he's kind of a genius. He invented the animatronics, those kind of like old creepy animatronics that you see when you think of like the Chuck E. Cheese style.
FNAF, but real.
I don't know how you describe it. Yeah, the FNAF but real. And it's just going through this warehouse full of old withering animatronics. There's technology.
Whoa, like been like exploded.
Yeah, and the whole time he's making these wild fucking claims like that he invented email.
Yes,
I feel like that's real.
I think he did.
Yeah. He
He
built this little device, and it's like this standing personal computer. And he claims that they were meant to kind of be installed in a home and interface with each other.
No. They were for each restaurant, so like they could easily fix the animatronics. It's literal FNAF mechanic that he just like made.
Yeah.
I want us to kind of circle back to what Mike said about him inventing whack-a-mole. It wasn't like whack-a-mole as you know it. It was like ISIS terrorists, right?
No. He
no.
made the original whack-a-mole. He did.
He has a
but
sculpt.
He lost
he has
the
the
rights.
sculpt of the original
Yeah.
whack-a-mole design, like of the mole. He has it in his office, but he sold
lost
the
the
rights.
rights. He lost the rights because he accidentally sold. He was trying to sell just one machine, but then he accidentally sold like the entire rights to
So
some
this guy, this guy knows how to program an animatronic with a piano, but he cannot wrap his mind around a contract.
Yeah, self-playing
so
piano.
real.
That's how he programmed a lot of the animatronics. But also, like, the big thing that we kind of drove over, these, like, animatronics have been through explosions. That's why they're withered. And it's either from, like, a literal terrorist attack in, like, a Middle Eastern country. Not kidding. Or it's from him trying to make a new type of energy.
Oh my god, what was that called again?
Carbohydrillium.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically had these
He's trying.
tanks of
Present tense.
he's still trying. He has these tanks of hyper compressed gas, and I don't know if he just stored them wrong or if he was doing something with them to make the pressure build up, but they blew up, like full force blew up, shook the ground, ears ringing,
Shattered
and
windows for blocks.
shattered.
Yes.
Yep.
He shows the tank that exploded. It looks like a fucking cartoon prop. Like, it looks like it's made out of rubber. With how
It's
fucking,
like when Daffy
flattened
Duck
out it is.
gets shot in the bill
It
with a
is.
shotgun and it like
fucking is.
expands.
Exactly.
And he even has like
that.
he's even like rested like a cartoon star on top of it, to, like almost to illustrate the fact that it's so fucking ridiculous. And it's like this.
It looks like an
that was an
Acme,
amazing-
like, it's absurd.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
an-
good.
He's
Amazing
the living
icebreaker.
Acme Corporation, dude.
It is. So,
That is
yeah,
how you get somebody on board.
Yeah. So DC, that's what we were doing 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And then since then, we've just, as Kappa said before we started recording, we've just been shooting the shit mostly and working on our own
So
things. I mean,
much has happened. It's crazy.
so much. I mean, I've put out 4 really good fucking videos since then.
Okay, can
Jesse's
I
been
make a
making
challenge?
good shit. Go on.
Yeah, can we try to go over like major events, like just blow by them real quick? We don't have to like linger on too
Okay,
much. But,
okay.
like events that we didn't talk about on the podcast. The first thing that
Let
comes
me
to mind
think.
for me is the submarine explosion.
Oh,
Well, Ocean
yeah.
Gate.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think we talked
submarine,
about that.
submarine
ever.
implosion. Yeah, that was crazy. I
Not
think
relevant.
the public opinion of that one was interesting to watch. It was like, oh, that they died. Everyone was like, oh, that's sad they died, and then it was like, oh, wait, they were rich, fuck them, and then it was like, oh, it was with an Xbox controller. That is objectively funny.
Yeah. I was
Well,
gonna
like-
say it's impossible to remove the comedy from the situation. And I mean,
Well,
it's tragic, but
The
rich
sad
people,
thing
rich
is,
people doing rich tourism got fucked over by stingy tourism, which is
yeah,
crazy.
well, I feel bad for the kid that was
Yeah.
on there. Like, obviously,
I can't believe
Oh,
they're
yeah.
making a movie
I-
about it already.
I read
they
that
are.
the kid that was on it was not into the idea of being on there.
He
and so
wasn't.
that sours things
Yeah.
for me.
does.
I will say I don't know why people kept like news sources kept going on and on about like, oh, they got new remains. It's like, okay, nothing new was gonna come out of it. It's like it didn't get attacked by a shark. It imploded.
It's like maybe sub pieces is what they're talking
Yeah.
about. There's no way there's if you imagine the way I had it described is they went from being people to particles in
Oh yeah.
Microseconds.
splat. Just like, yeah.
This is a bit controversial. I still think that the retrieval operation where they pulled out the pieces, I think that was staged.
Really?
I don't think it was
Okay,
real because
I
the
guess.
entire front dome was intact. They had entire pieces that were completely uncompressed. I don't buy it.
No, that makes
I
sense
mean,
to me. Like,
no,
'cause
I suppose there's gonna be a point of implosion, right?
There is
So
going to be a
there's-
point of
it's not-
implosion, but the parts they pulled out, none of them even looked like they were close to the point of implosion. I don't know.
well, I know because they might have blown off. That's
True.
why like it imploded. It's because like the seals were so fucking weak. That's why like
Yeah,
the
you
front
have-
dome like
was
just popped
drilled
off.
into the hole.
Yeah.
You've got some conspiracies under your belt though, Mike, because I
That's
know you
true.
don't believe in the moon landing, right? And I know you've talked to Buzz Aldrin about that one.
I have,
Sammy
directly to
unironically
Buzz.
believes JFK was assassinated by someone else.
By the
By
CIA?
the CIA? Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's real though.
No. I do not trust any government. I will say that up front. I literally just think they were incompetent and let a
DC
crazy guy shoot
fucking
him.
loves the US government. Don't let him fool you.
I don't.
Don't say that.
We should
Look,
move.
the U.S.
we
government.
should-
Okay.
We should move forward. Another one
Gonna get fucking assassinated.
we actually have to brush over this one, not out of like just because I don't want this conversation going on for very long in the comments. It's very cut and dry. Israel versus Palestine has happened in full force. Free Palestine. It's that simple.
Free Palestine.
Next.
Kappa, you better say it.
Oh, I'm just listening. I agree. That sounds like I don't agree. That sounds like really bad.
Did any of you guys see that dude that went into the fucking, is it like a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shops fucking waterfall tank, like butt ass naked?
Yes.
Did you see? Have you guys seen the picture? I'm gonna put this in general. Look at this. This is him after he climbed out of it. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's how I was bored.
Censor that if I put that on screen, but it's so funny.
Wasn't the whole thing with that he's probably got really sick from it because either the way the water is treated or the
fish water.
chemicals in it. Yeah.
Why did he get naked?
In the video, he also has a little ass dick, but I mean, he might just be a grower, so I can't.
You could be
shame
slanging
him.
that thing, bro. You don't know.
Listen, there's only so much you can slam, dude. Like, come on.
So ridiculous.
Okay, not going back to, or no, not even. It's not even connected. I'm just stupid. Did you guys hear about the guy, like the fucking politician in New York who was like, I hear Jewish people underneath my floorboard, and it turns out they actually did dig a tunnel under his house.
Dude, talk about a field day for anti-Semites. I mean, like, I don't agree with any of that shit, but it is objective, like what a card in your Yu-Gi-Oh deck to have an image of a Jewish man climbing out of a vent in the floor. Like, that's crazy.
No. He tweeted out like, I swear to God, if we do not have a basement, I hear Jewish
Yiddish in my fucking
yeah. and then he retweeted like, you guys owe me an apology now. Like,
that is nuts. Actually,
it was like verbatim. I hear Yiddish under my floorboard.
That's so insane. Like, you can't. I mean, people have been making that stuff up for years, actually, but you can't make up the fact that it became real. That's crazy.
Because everyone thought he was just fucking crazy because he was in a New York like apartment. He's like, we have no basement. I hear Jewish people underneath my floorboards. It's like, dude, get help. Like, everyone was just saying that to him, and he was right. Oh my God.
That is so wild.
It's so crazy.
Like,
I'm gonna imagine... hold on. There was a moment of dead space there. I have to adjust my mic stand.
Okay.
And it's gonna make noise. So. Yeah. All right. All good.
Let's all take a sip of our drinks in solidarity.
I don't have a drink anymore.
Sorry for this break. Kappa had a re-slip in his catheter.
Should I go?
I was gonna say my beads fell out.
Atom.
So.
You can go make a drink if you want, Sammy. That's fine.
I'll go grab a drink. You guys keep entertaining the children.
Sure.
Masses.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is this going in?
Yeah, this is
now
fine.
that they're gone.
Okay.
Now that they're gone, we fucking hate that dude. Oh my God.
that's something else.
We fucking hate Sammy.
Well, Kappa, shush. You talked about beads falling out. Did we ever talk about the anal bead chest thing that happened?
Jesus, I don't even want to talk
What, the
about
Magnus
that.
Carlsen thing?
We should.
Was that less than 9 months ago?
Yeah, definitely.
Think so.
That did not happen.
I thought that was
summer
before
recording.
Damn.
That was summer.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a year.
I think Always Sunny in Philadelphia did an episode on that where Danny DeVito's character Frank actually does that.
Jesus. If we
Did you guys fucking
go on, DC. You were more words in.
Yeah, I know. I'm better than you. But so did you guys hear about like the chess, like some fucking chess league was like, yeah, no, we're not letting trans people play in the women's league. It's like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Why the fuck is the chess league gendered at all? Like, it's already a stupid thing to have like all sports be gendered. Like,
yeah,
it makes,
that is
like,
stupid. It makes no sense.
It's stupid, but I get the reasoning behind it for like things like football. Like, they're already ruining their brains anyway, though, so I don't fucking care. Just let them play. Who cares?
It's really interesting to me that the thing that got conservatives to care about women's sports was trans people. The fact that they hate trans people so much they actually care about women's sports, even though they're not watching it. They don't give a fuck who wins or loses. as long as it's not a trans person. And then in chess, that's just like, okay, so conservatives' argument is about, physical ability, whatever, archaic beliefs, I would say. But chess, you don't need any of that. That is just a battle of wits. Like,
no, Mike, the testosterone. It's making their fingers too strong so they can knock down other
they
chess
might crumble the king into dust.
Yeah. It's like the AirPods.
I was gonna say they can't have women playing they can't have women playing the men's chess leagues because they have to fill the chess pieces with tungsten. They have to weigh them down, otherwise.
They have to make it a physical chess. No, they have to play the Harry Potter version where it's big chess. And
it's like
Kleptomaniac proof.
Oh,
chess.
sorry, I'm clipping a bit. Give me 1 sec.
That's okay.
Oh my god.
Anyway, if we jump forward a little to present day, something very interesting happened yesterday, which is MatPat announced his retirement. Which nobody saw coming, really. Not like as an immediate, like, in 9 weeks kind of thing.
DC cheered.
DC did not cheer. The video was really emotional, actually.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I loved MatPat, like he was everything. No, like I made fun of that dude a lot, and he was fun to make fun of.
I haven't seen the video. Is there anything to summarize from that?
He's basically he's passing the theory channels down like Spider-Man to Mars Theoralis. So it's
Theoralis.
Can you say his name normally? Like
Mars Morales. Mars Theoralis.
Shut up.
What is the bit? What is the bit?
I don't even know. It's a nothing bit.
It looks better written down. Sammy got it.
It was funny.
Anyway.
Theoralis?
Miles Theoralis.
Huh. Miles per hour.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm gonna give you mild paralysis in a minute.
That's so real.
Anyway, but MatPat, he's retiring. He's 37. So I can't really blame him. He doesn't really want to play games just to come up with theories. But in the video, he mentions that Hello Neighbor might be getting one more theory before the end, which would be hilarious, given that tweet will finally get its redemption.
That's their wet dream.
Maybe. What if the theory is about the cartoon? That would actually be so sweet. MatPat, you're gonna want to check this out. Go frame by frame.
Yeah, he said he's like gonna hand it down to someone. Do you think it's just gonna be his kid? He's like his old baby son.
No. He said in the video. He said in the video who he's passing it to. Yeah, he's just handing it to the writers, the help. To his staff. Tom.
Do you think he like?
Yeah, like Tom. I forget the rest of them, but Tom is the one that's taking the Game Theory channel.
Do you think like he's training his son to do, like he's strapping a VR headset that plays all the FNAF theories?
My child,
I'm sure
you
he's
must know the ways.
The FNAF Matrix is what you're describing.
Theories. Yeah. I mean, look, like it's like Goku, like you gotta train him young so that they can fucking.
He's just strapping his baby into help wanted like all day.
But a lot of YouTubers
once you get past
right? Like Tom Scott.
Well, it's obvious why.
It is. Jerma's gonna retire, or not necessarily retire, but like a soft retirement.
He's planning to. Yeah, it's to go into full retirement. So.
TERRI raises a beautiful point. MatPat did say that his son knows more about the FNAF lore than he does.
I'm telling you,
which is crazy because MatPat wrote FNAF. Like
it's true.
No. You guys don't understand. Him and Scott Cawthon, like his son and Scott Cawthon, are gonna have a battle one day, and they're gonna have to like fucking be in the field.
Braden Cawthon and MatPat's son are gonna. It's gonna be like those stories where we see like different generations, but they're played by the same actors.
It's Boruto.
No, it's gonna be like like there's clans in Japan, like old Japan movies and stuff. It's gonna be like that, like two rivaling clans, the Game Theory clan and the FNAF clan.
What is some? Damn, I had a topic
Kaisen
on the tip of
season
my
2
tongue.
came out.
Guys,
you reminded me because.
So, in the past. There was kind of a running bit about when I would drink, Dr. Pepper and stuff. It was like a funny thing.
Was it?
I have a Dr. Pepper right here, actually.
But in the last few episodes, I haven't had one because I couldn't afford Dr. Pepper. But now, you hear it in the recording, but you won't be able to hear it on my in the call.
Mike had to sell his kidney to get this.
We got a fresh one cracked open. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, boys. My name is Sam.
Nice.
Welcome to Watching Pixels Dry.
Hell yeah.
25 minutes
10
in.
minutes in. Yeah,
20 minutes
25.
in.
I don't know. Time's a stupid thing. Doesn't exist.
I'm trying to think of what else has happened. So much.
Let's
Even
talk
in the
about some
last
games
week.
we played.
True. Games we've played and things we've watched, I feel like, so
True,
people can
yeah.
get a gauge of what we like. I played Cyberpunk for the first time this year, and I fell in love with it.
Oh, I gotta finish that.
One of the most emotional game experiences. Also, No Man's Sky, got into that. That shit had me crying.
Really?
So,
Wait,
yeah.
really?
So at the end of the first big quest, which I don't want to spoil it anything, but it involves Atlas, an interaction you have with Atlas. He tells you something, and for a little while, I didn't quite get what it meant, so I was trying to cover as much ground as urgently as possible. I was just exhausted. I think I was awake for 3 days because I had just moved into my place, and I was, I had to stay awake for reasons, scheduling. So to stay awake, I was just banging out No Man's Sky for hours, and I got to the end of it and I was just weeping. Like, I was so exhausted, but it was really, really, really good, and I highly recommend No Man's Sky to everyone.
It's a great
Okay.
game.
Mike, that's your experience with it. I found out you could be a robot race in it, so I speedrunned for like 5 days straight. I speedrun through the entire game just to get robot cosmetics, and then I stopped playing fully. I don't remember anything from the story because I would just like skip past it trying to become a robot as fast as possible.
There are two wolves.
I recently booted it up again to play it in VR, and it's fun, but oh my god, it lags in VR.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jesus.
Mike
Good
has
one, Mike.
leprosy, by the way. Mike.
Sorry.
That's another thing that happened in the last 9 months. Mike
Yeah.
came down with fucking Ebola.
Yeah,
I don't know how he got this far.
Mike is doing a new series where he replaces every organ he has with Legos.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's true. That's true.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I took a swig down the wrong hole. I apologize. I'll boof it next time.
Did you boof it?
Mike just recorded like wrong. Mike just like gave everyone that's into.
No,
That's
Mike just
okay,
boofed
buddy.
his drink so hard he coughed it up again.
Oh, I've got a couple things that we can get into after the games as well.
Just ignored.
First of all, is it related to boofing? Because it
Dude,
sounded like
come
that
on.
sparked your memory.
Fucking get him out of my throat, not me. Bro.
Clear it. I will, dude.
But clear it is what I'm doing, homie.
It's not gonna be clear in a
Um,
second.
A game that
Whoa.
I have been into is the finals. I've been real into that
Oh
one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of fell off it. It's not as fun
Yeah.
for me
Because you haven't
anymore.
fucking played it.
I gotta re-download
Well,
it because I actually really do want to play it. And it was very fun for the small amount of time that I tried it out.
Me, Mike, and Sammy played the shit out of it during the beta, and we had a lot of fun with it, and it was crazy. And then
Yeah.
like we were all watching the Game Awards together, and we heard that it was back, and we were like, "Oh my god!" And we downloaded it. Like some of us downloaded it, and then we just never touched it again.
Well, we downloaded it and all the servers were
Yeah.
exploding because everyone was
Yeah.
downloading it and playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the finals has a lot of promise. I think give it some time and maybe it'll be good. But also, I saw a TikTok that was a little too real, and it was like, the beta was the best time to be in the finals. No one had all the
Yeah.
game-breaking strats, and no one sweated it because there was nothing to
Yeah.
gain. And that's true. There was nothing to gain. It
But
was
that's
purely
every
just
video. You
fun.
can't- I feel like people that complain about sweats in video games don't really understand
Yeah.
the draw of competitive video games is improving.
I will say, the finals kind of pissed me off with a thing they did. Sammy, don't interrupt me, please, while I say this. So, in the beta, they gave you like 10,000 free currency for like cosmetics and shit like that, which I appreciate. Like that's really nice for them for a thing to do. Like you're playing the beta, they give you some like free cosmetics. I think that seems like a good thing. That's cool. And like I fully leveled up my guy. I unlocked like every single weapon and shit like that. And it was really sick. And then like when I had to re-download the game, it just like reset everything. And now I have to start all over, and it makes me not want to play the game.
See, I think-
Especially like
Awesome.
Never mind.
no, like I get where you're coming from, Sammy. Like with like it's part of like the fun is just like crawling your way back up. but it's annoying whenever like you've already made all that progress and then immediately just you have to start over with it.
I see DC's point here because especially with when there's demos of games, a lot of times people like being able to start off from where they ended in the demo.
But it wasn't a demo, it was a beta.
Yeah,
it was the same thing. It's the same shit. Come on.
Well, a beta is specifically for ironing out issues. A demo is for something that is already they're confident that is, fully functional and just a piece of the thing that you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the cosmetics, like why they would take that away. That makes some sense at least, right? But it's also like the cosmetics are just a lot. Some of them are just fucking overpriced, like straight up. Like it costs $20 to get some pieces of clothing that are like basic as fuck, and it's stupid. For like a single bit, it's $20 of like currency or whatever the fuck, and I don't get that.
That's
on.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry, on the last episode of the podcast, we were talking about games as well, because I don't play a lot of video games. I'm not much of a gamer.
You up, so to speak.
I was gonna say I've gotten a lot more into it now that I've been hanging out with these guys, and I don't know if I've finished any like big story games recently. I picked up Cyberpunk. I haven't gotten very far in that, but it's actually pretty fun so far. I used to be a big hater of Cyberpunk, actually. So
I should say I was also a big hater of Cyberpunk. Rowan, before he died tragically, was a big. My parents are gonna get mad at me for saying this phrase again. We had a conversation about this, but Rowan was a huge Cyberpunk dick rider, even when the game was like broken as fuck. And since gross. Why would you say? Don't throw me off.
Because it was in my head. Okay,
but since the 2.0 update, that game it's just immaculate. It's a game I didn't think I would enjoy. Yeah. But oh my god, when a little bit of mods, when you can freeze time and throw knives at people, that's my bread and butter. So I've really enjoyed it. Another game that I want to talk about. After.
Sorry. But that's the same thing that got me into Cyberpunk was I have a friend, a really good friend of mine who would just every chance he could at work just tell me about it and try to get me on board, and so I finally came around. I'm enjoying that. I picked up Fortnite actually.
Shout out Sammy.
That's where I was heading.
I was gonna say that's a big shout out to Sammy.
I was heading to Lego Fortnite. That's where I was heading.
Oh yeah. Well, so I have for a while liked the idea of picking up Fortnite, and it looks really fun. But I'm weird with games where I have to have a reason to download them. So I made an ultimatum to Sammy. I said, if the Gojo skin, like the Jujutsu Kaisen Gojo skin, comes back into the item shop, I will download Fortnite. And sure enough,
the week after.
Yep.
Because I had like literally 2 days after Kappa said that, I was like, oh god, these skins aren't gonna come back ever. It's gonna be like a thing. And then I was looking at leaks for the game, and the item shop got in the files got updated for Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, we're in. We're
in. But it's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. All the game modes are great
too. He bought me a skin that I really wanted, and he was like, you have to play with me if I buy you the skin. And I was like, okay, fair
I've played Fortnite on and off for like years, but Sammy has most consistently been the one to get me playing it. Yeah. Probably because Sammy is actually fun to play with.
And Sammy's also our certified Fortnite sugar mommy, getting us skins.
That's true.
And shit, so.
But speaking of Fortnite, Lego Fortnite came out, which was
so gas.
It's unfucking believable how good it is. Just the way it looks, the way it plays. It needs fixes, but they will come. So I'm positive and looking forward to that. It's really cool. Yeah. Really quick, I need to throw this in here since we're halfway through. This episode is not going to be going up on Spotify anytime soon. If it is, welcome to the late party. I owe over $100 to the hosting site because of backed up payments. So not coming to Spotify until I can pay that off.
We love that.
But and it only goes up every month. So I should get on that. But sort of circling back to both Fortnite and whatever the show's called, I don't know. Whatever you like.
What is
Kappa,
that?
what's it called?
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Anime.
So I finally got around to watching the live action One Piece show.
Ooh.
And it sort of got me into One Piece. I'm too intimidated to watch the anime. But
Oh,
They're
Mike,
remaking it
I will
anyway.
watch it with you if we're ever on
Yeah?
call. Like, not
I'll watch it
doing
with
anything.
you too.
Absolutely.
okay. I don't know how I feel about
started.
the art style personally.
It gets better.
but-
Yeah.
Okay.
I promise
Okay.
it gets better.
Dude,
I saw the intro
that-
for the new season on Twitter the other day,
Yes.
and oh my god, it looks gorgeous.
Did
It
you guys
does.
see that like they're remastering a lot of the old seasons?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
Cool.
Mike,
What?
that could be
Yeah.
good for you actually. So Wit Studio is picking up One Piece and they're going to pace it better. And they're
Ooh.
gonna do all the arcs leading up to the time skip, I assume. Or at least covering like the first few arcs. But that's gonna be I'm actually really excited for that because I've gotten
cool.
I've gotten to like the Water 7 arc and it's great, but yeah, there's pacing issues.
I am a big Luffy fan. I relate to him a little bit too much, but Luffy is awesome. And while I would love to make a Lego One Piece video one day, I'm not yet big enough of a fan to not have people get mad at me. So we'll stay off that one until I can. But it reminded me as well that people have been really begging for a One Piece and Fortnite collab, and I would get the Luffy skin if that came out. I would join the sheeple line, and I would do that.
For
Mike, you were
Halloween,
talking
I
about-
dressed up as Doflamingo from One Piece.
Oh yeah.
It was really sick.
That's who you were.
Yes,
Okay.
that's who it was. And apparently, actually, I might end up reading One Piece because at least up to the time skip where the art style kind of gets better. But apparently, the Dressrosa arc that he's from is like awful in the anime. Like it's really hard to get through, so that's fun.
I will say, circling back again. Should we keep doing in this fucking episode?
It's a
Mike,
merry-go-round.
yeah,
We have fun.
Yeah, you were talking about like getting hate for your Lego video. You did get some for
What, for the
the
TF2 one?
ungrateful TF2
yeah, the TF2
fans.
one, which was stupid.
The payload is not red. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Why is the
Cry about it.
engineer's glove on the
Mike
running
got like
head?
a
Respectfully.
few things wrong. Some people were like, "This person's
Okay.
like their thing on their vest is on the wrong side." And it's like, okay,
in
it's
my defense,
Lego.
couple things. One, as I've said in later videos, Lego makes compromises. Not everything is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know how to break this to you. Second, I'm one dude. Thirdly, I have only played TF2 maybe 3 times. So
Really,
You didn't like
the blame
any
should
of
be
the
on-
times.
Really,
I-
like the blame should be on
no,
Sammy. 'cause he
I
was
liked
his
Saxton
resident.
Hale. That game mode's fun, but the rest of it, no, I'm not a fan of TF2. I'm not a fan of team shooters like that in general.
That's fair.
So like I don't like Overwatch, I don't like Apex. It took me a long time to get into CS:GO, and since CS2 I fell completely off it again.
I'm gonna convince Mike to get back on it one day.
Eventually, if they put out a new operation or a really good music pack, maybe I'll be interested. But
Speaking
You
of
know,
team-based,
the thing is-
first-person. Oh wait, sorry.
before you do, I just want to say the thing is CS:GO was fun, but you also got me into it at a really bad time because it was just after the Freddy Dread thing, and I was so desperate for money that I was like bordering on gambling addiction with those cases. Like it almost
I'm
got
so
bad.
sorry.
Oh god.
And Terry was my partner was kind of my rock, as she was like, "You do not need to rely on CS:GO cases, honey." And I
Wait,
was like,
oh my
"You're so
god,
right."
we should mention TERRI actually did the art for Sammy's frames.
For this
Yes,
video and the
Terry did the thumbnail for the podcast.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's very cool. Maybe one day when Terry's comfortable speaking in the podcast at length, we can have Terry on as a guest when she establishes her internet reputation a bit more. How about that, honey? She's in the call right now listening. She's
That's
like
condescending as fuck,
moderator,
holy
so
shit.
she takes notes and stuff for us, so we don't.
Put her
She's-
profile picture she has on screen right now.
It's an adorable profile picture. I love it. What have I?
Did we ever
shit.
mention?
Sorry, real quick. Lethal Company videos at 2:08. Let's
Oh,
go.
Lethal Company. That's another game.
That's
we-
something
Yeah.
we
Oh
gotta
yeah,
talk
we've been
about.
playing the shit out of that, and hopefully we get to play it after this too.
Yeah, we'll probably
course.
play it right after this recording if I don't go straight
Yeah.
into editing.
It's crazy how fun that game is.
It's just like it is like live proof that a game with solid mechanics will carry much further than any game with, like, to be honest, like, Lethal Company has infinitely more replay value than the finals does.
Yeah.
If the finals had 10,000 maps, it would still have less replay value than Lethal Company.
Yeah, what is the file size of Lethal Company?
It's
like
small.
really
That's, I think that's
It's like
that's like partially why it's so successful.
it's accessible.
It's like Minecraft, right? Like it's Minecraft's one of like most played games ever because it's so easy to install and it runs on basically anything.
And you can replay it forever because no two games are ever the same.
Like Zeeker's the guy who like is fucking developing it by himself, I think.
Yeah.
He says like he wants to add even more shit to it
and I
to
can't
make it
wait.
to where it's like
I'm so excited.
even more unique each time. And I was like, dude, he's already done more than like so much other people who get that shot.
It's also proof because I remember we all watched a Pyro video, I think, and shout out Pyro, by the way. I know he's huge, but shout out Pyro. We love Pyro here.
You cameoed in the Pyro video, didn't you?
I did. I cameoed in a Pyro video, Pyro live video. You can see one of my videos on the sidebar. That was crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, it's when he's yelling
and
about
it was
shit.
red. The bar underneath was red, right? Because he
had seen it. But where was I with that? So Pyro, I've completely lost my train of thought because of that.
Sorry.
Pyro's video about Lethal Company. We were watching it.
Yeah, we were watching that, but I can't remember where I was heading. Oh, he was like, "Oh, the game's only $10, right? And it's made Zeke as like a multi-millionaire because it sold so many copies." And that's a proof of like game prices. If they were lower and the games were fun, they would sell. Like it's just that simple. Like, oh,
also,
fucking GTA 6. Just throw that in
Oh
there.
yeah, fucking GTA 6.
That's big.
I want to finish Lethal Company real quick.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, GTA 6. All you have to do is say it. That's. I mean, we all know the impact.
Yeah, but Lethal Company, like, it's also a thing of this is something that irks me a lot about current game developers. Stop trying to make shit like ultra realistic. Fucking stop it. Nobody fucking wants like nobody's like itching for there to be like tiny little ass hairs on every pixel of characters. We don't care. We want something that looks nice. That's it.
I think there's a place for it.
I know there
Lethal
absolutely
Company
is,
doesn't
right?
even really like Lethal Company is just so consistent with its style. The first time you see any creature in that game is like so spine chilling because especially if you don't have a flashlight or even if they're just far away, you can't make out what you're seeing. You don't know their mechanics. Like there's so much more to it.
I don't know how I never thought to make a creature out of a nutcracker before. How the fuck did I never think of that? That's something that's like perfectly up my alley, and I missed it.
Another thing I love about Lethal Company is when you bring people into it, it kind of simulates the story of the game in a way where you become the trainer and they become the trainee, and you start teaching your friends how to work for this company.
Yeah, I've never really thought of it that way.
It's sort of a self-fulfilling lore thing where. We played with Aiden the other day, friend Aiden, and like I was realizing like, damn, we are literally we've just leveled up in the company and now we're training new employees. Like that's pretty much what it is, and that's a studio just can't do that. Apparently, a studio can't figure out how to do that. Just leave it to one furry who's 20 years old to do it.
It's because of the people who's running. Like this is something that I want to cover just as a general thing in gaming. The developers are never the people, like, all the developers are talented. It is very rare for an untalented developer to get hired anywhere. It's always, like, the reason why a game comes out and it sucks or it's just schlop and it's fucking nothing, it's because of the fucking executives. That's what it is. Like, who was that got, like, fired from Activision recently?
The boss.
I don't know.
The CEO.
The boss retired,
the CEO. I wish he got fired. He retired to his millions, but he like every game developer was coming out being like, this guy was a fucking asshole, and he's the reason so many games turned out shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I mean, me and Kappa have been playing a lot of Overwatch recently.
Yes.
Well, in the past few months, we put a few, I would say, tens of hours into that game.
We put some big nights into that game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like all nighters. Yeah, it's it does what it says on the tin. It does what it's always done, right? It's a team-based shooter, right? The characters are like, whatever, right? Not the point. The reason why the game is in the state it's in now, why the sequel that added nothing released, why there's no, why there's battle passes, no more like free loot boxes, things like that, is directly because of that CEO, because of the decisions he's taken Activision Blizzard, and like the direction that he's taken that company. And now that he's gone, I truly think that in the years coming, Overwatch and like Warcraft and all like the Blizzard games are gonna just increase in quality. I can only really see that happening.
I want to speak to the idea of how much like one person's vision can tend to change things, because you were talking about like the idea of Zeekers being just a single developer working on a game. Although there are a lot more hurdles that you have to jump and things take more time and it kind of gets all put on you, there is a singular vision, right? And if the person who has that vision has a clear, interesting, and well-developed vision, it's going to be a clear, interesting, well-developed game or movie or anything creative, really. And then on the flip side, with a CEO like that at Activision, if they are just making horrible decisions and making things a terrible place to work, then it's going to be bad. It all comes down to that ethos.
Speaking of movies, stop making video game movies. Stop it. Just as
wrong opinion.
Make them good. Mario movie came out. That was
okay. Let me rephrase. Stop making mascot horror movies.
Bendy movie comes out next year.
I know.
I'm
That's
so excited.
partially why I'm saying this. The FNAF movie. Right?
Do you think the $700,000 lawsuit check will appear in the Bendy movie?
Of course, in the background, shrouded by Fazbear.
Mike Mood's gonna pull that face.
Mike Mood.
The FNAF movie. I'm glad that people in the fandom enjoyed it. Right, go ahead and enjoy it. That's great. I'm not gonna take that away from you in the slightest. You have fun with your little autism fun. I'm autistic. I want to say that before I go on. It's like an objectively confusing movie for anyone who's not like, again, autistically into FNAF lore. It's just a confusing, weird movie that is like really weird overall. It's just not that great.
I guess I haven't seen it through that lens, just because through osmosis I've absorbed a lot of FNAF, so I guess I can see it that way.
Yeah, it's a movie that is going to just air to the public. You would think you would try to make it to where like the public can get into it.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting decision to just honestly, maybe to its detriment, to be a movie so for the fans in a way. Like I never thought I'd say that, but like for a movie that took this long to write and make, the fact that it came out with some of the writing it has is kind of shocking.
It is difficult, isn't it? Because people's biggest criticisms of video game movies have been like, it doesn't feel like it's made for the people that actually enjoy the property. But I guess you could see this as like the flip side of that.
Yeah, like it feels like they sped run the movie.
Yeah, Kappa was talking about like vision and how important that can be. I feel like with properties like that, the vision was very clearly lost, like at some point, and it quickly just became more of like the fandom's theories are deciding more what's happening here than like the actual writing. Like with Bendy and with FNAF, I think those are really two good examples of that.
Yeah.
With Scott, I think he had an idea for a story, and then he kept like seeing where the fans went with it, and then kept trying to follow that, and then he got sick of that, and he wanted to go after science fiction. Yeah, and then he was like, "Fuck, they didn't like that."
Oh, yeah, that's the idea of catering to an audience is a version of losing vision, right? Because this is something so doing art school, we do a lot of critique and a lot of discussion of your purpose behind things. And I had a really interesting discussion with my teacher of, can you, when you're making something, how much are you making it for people, and how much does it need to be for you or for a specific, like your specific idea? And so I think that's an example of things getting muddied because you're just thinking of how will this affect my audience, rather than having this intrinsic story or this intrinsic feeling in mind.
I will say Bendy and the Ink Machine is a far better example, because that like I don't think they had a clear vision of what they wanted past chapter 1 of that fucking game.
Chapter 1, the original version of chapter 1 was so fucking solid. Like, really, really good. And then the moment...
I got me really excited. I was like, oh, this could go so many cool directions.
I could probably put my finger on the moment where things started going downhill. And personally, I feel like it's when you started getting sort of, not diegetic dialogue, but dialogue that was coming from characters that were standing in front of you instead of dialogue coming from just tapes and phone calls.
I think that's chapter 4.
No. It's chapter 2, Sammy, as in the character, not Sammy, our friend.
Sammy Lawrence.
Yeah, Sammy Lawrence. Another one would probably be when Jacksepticeye showed up in it, even though that was awesome at the time. It's like...
I love Jacksepticeye, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a really sweet dude. I don't know him personally, but like he seems like a really sweet guy. I need him to stop appearing in fucking mascot horror games too, please.
True.
It's just I know he can act well. I know he can. He doesn't in any of the fucking horror FNAF games I've seen, or like
probably because they lack direction. They don't even know how to manage their finances or stop their companies from having fucking damn it. What's the I'm never mind.
Voice direction?
No, not voice direction. I'm talking about their companies themselves. What's the HR departments? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We don't have an HR department here, though. So.
Yeah. Super Mega could have used an HR department.
Oh god. Well, let's finish this out first.
Don't get me started.
I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, look. So another weird thing I've noticed is that every single time that Jack is in like a mascot horror game, he's always like almost a racist version of an Irish person.
Yeah, he's doing the ultra Irish voice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he's a legitimately good, like, he pulls some crazy voices in his own videos. Like,
yeah,
he can do some really good voices, but they never want that for that because then you wouldn't know it's Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
You're supposed to click it. You're supposed to click it in soy face. Oh my god! Can we not talk about Free Guy, please?
Free Guy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Please,
come on, blue shirt guy, do it.
That's
how he delivers it.
My heart genuinely sank when you said those words. Like, I'm not even kidding. My heart sank.
We totally did talk about Free Guy in a past episode because I remember Mike talking about how his mom loves that movie.
No, not my mom. Neil.
Neil loves that movie.
But there was a couple things I wanted to mention. SAG-AFTRA put AI into their voice actor thing, and then all the voice actors were like, "Hey, we didn't agree to this," and SAG-AFTRA was like, "Yeah, we did."
That's pretty scummy.
There's all the video game stuff too.
Yeah. So yeah, now video game studios can buy the license for people's voices and then use them however they please. So that's crazy.
Would like not want to be one of them.
If you want to see a good example of like AI in video games, there's one that came out recently. It's called I think it's Suck Up, and it's you play as a vampire going door to door trying to get invited into people's houses.
Oh,
you've got to wear you've got to that's so real. No, but you've got to wear like outfits to trick them. But the biggest mechanic of it is that the conversations are kind of like, I think they use some sort of AI algorithm.
Yeah.
Or machine
I don't have terms. Yeah, like machine learning to generate conversations, and it's really, really fun. And it doesn't use any like AI voice acting. All of the art is made by people. It's really interesting.
It is like a good concept, I think, for how AI can be used.
Mm-hmm.
In like a cool way with stuff like this. Like, that's not when artists are like fuck AI, they're not saying like AI can never be used as a tool. Like, of course it can.
Yeah.
But it's people, the way they're using it now isn't. That's the issue.
And ironic, I mean, I was listening to episode 8 and 9 of the podcast, like listening back before this just to remember how I'm supposed to be friends with these people. And Rowan was talking about how it was the first iteration, it's going to get better, and it frightfully has. If there's anything right, he said that it was that. It definitely has, but I stand by what we said back then, which is like it should be a tool, not the medium, and it continues to just be the medium that for less inspired creators.
It's
to-
taking
Finals?
creative things and trying to remove people from it instead of
Yeah.
using the tool to
Mhm.
help the creative.
The finals like voiceover shit.
Ugh,
I
mute that
I've
game.
listened back to. Yeah, it is really annoying. Like it's not like apparently they did it like with people in the office. Like those voices are from people in the office or whatever the fuck they're
Okay.
working on.
That's not so bad.
And it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm more happy with that than it just being from some database where it's stolen from like other people's shit.
If they hire a
But-
voice actor to do like a bunch of data
Yeah.
set, because I actually really do like the idea that they're talking about there. Like
Yeah.
having some. The thing is, they're like, oh, we did it so it can actually adapt to the situation. But that's not true because all the lines I've heard them 1,000 times already. I've only played like
Yes.
20 to 50 matches of the finals, and I've heard every voice line there is in the game.
Yeah.
I've heard every single one because
since
because,
the game's
like-
been out,
oh, go on.
sorry. Since the
no, you
game's
go.
been out, the AIs do react in real time now to the things you do in the game.
okay.
But
Since
they
That's
sound
and I think
bad.
I think that if they hired some professional voice actors and recorded like one actual contextual lines that can just be used straight up, and second just record like a lot of data, then and it could actually be relatively seamless. I think that's when it would. If it goes over my head, then I mean, there's kind of like, what's the problem? If they paid an actor to record the
Yeah.
data and they put in the hours with that actor and that actor got paid fairly for the work they did, then it kind of makes sense. It's not the most ideal thing, but if that's the way technology is going, then we have to adapt it fairly. Because
Yeah.
Isn't that
this is a
what
weird
the-
analogy, but it's kind of like, I don't know about the US, but it's kind of like how badly the UK government fumbled vaping.
Oh.
I feel like game studios
Oh, yeah.
and movie studios are doing that with AI. When vaping first became like a public thing in the UK, you could walk into a corner shop or just walk into like any sort of off-brand place, and you could be 13 and buy a vape. And that was terrible. They didn't start regulating it until 2 years ago. 2 fucking years ago.
God.
And there was nicotine in it by then. When vapes first started coming out, they were all nicotine free. And then they slowly
Oh,
just
yeah.
inked the nicotine in and right under the government's nose and finally regulated it and made it, the same as smoking. And
I
it's
remember
the
the
same
first
it's the
time-
same with AI and the way that studios are approaching it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw an electronic cigarette. It was in a Mexican restaurant where we were eating,
Yeah.
and it was like this big blocky. It looked like a fucking like '90s phone almost, where it was like just a brick.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Dad, what's that guy doing?" And he's like, "Oh, he's trying to quit cigarettes, so he's like puffing out of that." And I was like, "That's weird." And now, like, it's everywhere.
With the voice acting stuff you were talking about, isn't that kind of what the SAG-AFTRA thing is going after? Is like that idea that voice actors would get paid to create sound libraries or like files.
Potentially, I think, but I
Yeah.
think maybe the problem is
So-
less with the idea and more with the fact that it doesn't seem like everyone involved that
Yeah,
they claimed was in on
right,
the idea
you-
was actually.
You want
Yeah.
people to be on board with it. I think the dangerous thing with it is that, or what I foresee specifically is that voice actors will have to pick and choose between contracts that include the creating of like an AI sound library. So many
Yeah.
roles that would have been, I don't see that many roles being like fully AI voiced. And I think if somebody like they personally choose to do a role that is going to be fully AI voiced, that makes sense to me. But where it becomes kind of insidious is when you get roles that would be like a good role for the voice actor, just lots of voice lines, but they have to have the AI sound library along with that. Like that could be really scummy.
I just don't like the idea of like commodifying basic human identity shit like that.
Mhm.
True.
Like there was again, Activision, they like fucking made a thing where they were like, hey, we want to like, I think it was like a patent or something where they were like, hey, like you could have a voice character that has your voice in it because it scans your voice after you talk in it for like an hour and
Nah,
then it gets
fuck that.
it's like, okay, I don't trust you not to sell my data. Like data has become like such a commodity now. Like
Privacy
it's like, okay,
is a
I don't.
commodity.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to give this shit out. why the fucking like it sucks that you kind of just have to these days. Like Discord probably does save voice calls somewhere.
They do.
They probably do.
They absolutely
And
do.
it's
Sammy,
it's
what were
like-
you gonna talk about?
okay.
Bad news
Sorry.
for Gmod RP owners.
What?
Sorry, I just feel like Sammy
Discord
hasn't gotten a
calls
word in
getting
for a
logged.
minute.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No, I was gonna say, one thing that like we were talking about, like you said, like one, like if someone is fully on board with their voice being used for a library, so their role can be, you know, in, like let's say it's like an A-list voice actor, right? And like they are signed on to like so many different projects at once, and
Like
you know,
Nolan North.
like but I mean, I'm speaking more of like a recent thing that happened in a huge like in a show that recently came out. We hate Disney, right? But
Yeah.
in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that released a few months ago, not a few months, that was like a year ago, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know until very recently that James Earl Jones in that show, Darth Vader, is all AI.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
And
He he
No.
gave his
He
permission
gave
for
the
that.
permission. He's the ambassador for Darth Vader now, basically. Like
Yeah.
kind of like how Charles Martinet is like the ambassador to Mario. He's like the ambassador for
Yeah.
Darth Vader, and he like provided his like every recording he's ever done for Darth Vader, everything. And that show, I mean, that's ethical use of vocal AI,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It is.
I
There's
think
also
I feel like with royalties,
consent.
if
Consent
royalty,
is the
consent and royalties, I think, should be the
Yeah.
biggest things
Yeah.
associated with that. I think if AI voices should probably have, well, I think all acting should have lots of royalties associated with it, but I think it's especially important with AI that the voice actor is continuing to see profit from their voice being used.
yeah.
Also, who was the other guy in the nature voiceover guy who did
David
that too?
Attenborough.
David Attenborough. He also did that. He like said he gives permission for like people to use his voice after that. Like, didn't he say he was giving it to the public domain? I think he was.
I think he did.
That would
yeah.
be sweet.
Which
That'd
is-
be
which
interesting.
That would
Yeah.
be sweet.
I
And-
get it's all just about like consent and making sure people get like the stuff they deserve from giving their fucking voice.
It's like because these guys, right? These like
And gals.
super iconic voice actors. They're old, you know. Like James Earl Jones
Yeah.
is in his 90s. David Attenborough in his 80s or 90s. They realistically can't do the character forever, right?
No.
Casey Kasem is dead.
Exactly. I mean,
Oh. It made me sad.
He's been dead for a while, dude.
I know, but you reminded me. It made me sad.
it's
Kevin
On one
Conroy is
hand-
dead. Like stuff like that. Like
on one hand,
It's-
AI is the demon that will be the downfall of all industry, and on the other hand, AI is actively
Demons.
assisting with keeping creative industries alive in ways that are ethical, like with the voice
True.
acting and things like that.
I feel
I
like
did-
if Alex Jones started like saying that AI was demons, I would actually like listen to him.
He's onto
Before-
something.
Yeah.
before we, because I have one more topic that I really want to cover, but before we move on, I just remember seeing this Danny Masterson clip where he was just baffled that you know, people work 15-hour shifts in Amazon warehouses and the AI gets to make gets to make sexy Superman pictures. Like that doesn't add up. Like maybe make the robots do the work.
Well, it's because like fucking rich people, it's like again, this like it's just gotten so serious. All these fucking
Yeah.
topics. When usually we're talking about like dildos and saying the dumbest shit on our minds. But like, it's
We
like
got some
fucking rich
boofing
people.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got some boofing. That's fair. Like Mike burped out of his ass. It's fine.
What?
So
It's-
fart, DC.
It's like, shut up. Not when you boof shit, then it's a burp, idiot.
a
But like
queef.
when you shut up. Let me talk about Alex Jones saying that demons are AI.
How many ass words can I get out?
I don't know. Ass words.
Yeah.
That was my
Fart, queef,
favorite.
Ass
Burp.
nomenclature.
Okay, let's go through it then. Let's go through it then.
Let's go
there's
through the ass
tugging.
dictionary.
We've got
Yeah,
squelch, right?
Oh,
Swell.
What's like
God.
leapfrog for ass words?
Brap.
We got shit. Brap, that's a good one. Uh,
Dump
we got
truck.
Toot. We got Toot.
We got the famous Shart.
Shart, of course.
We got a flop. in there.
We gotta get off this. We cannot be doing this.
A little
Okay.
Oh,
gloop.
but real quick,
Get to your
burp
point,
Snart.
DC. Get
I
to
don't
your
fucking
point,
remember what
DC.
it was. You
Okay,
guys kept
well,
saying
Alex
dumb ass
Jones
shit.
calling AI demons. This is so stupid.
like
I know.
to-
I don't remember where I was going
I'd
with
like
it.
to move on to. We've actually been recording for an hour, so we could call this a final topic. Something kind of lighthearted and simple. I am here, Mikopath, to introduce you to a little something I call Nickposting. So, a little bit of background. My
You turned to Steve
brother,
Jobs for this.
my brother just turned 33 the other day. Happy birthday, Nick.
birthday.
And I was going through his Facebook after I was looking at his birthday post, and I found a picture of him when he was my age, 21. And it is this, it's this image, and it just emits a palpable, almost delicious aura. So I'm going to set the scene, and it's going to be on the TV above us here, so you can see it for reference. So it's
pure
him.
Americana.
It's him, shirtless, looking very well, looking very healthy. He's got a nice straw cowboy hat on. Behind him is a combination flag of the United States and the Republican flag.
Confederate
So we're
flag,
already
not Republican.
The Confederate
sorry,
flag.
Republican Confederate flag, same difference.
Same shit.
To the Confederate flag, and in his mouth is this huge stogie, right? But the thing is, it's glistening purple. And we figured out since that it's because his camera was old back then and it was messing with the infrared. But it just looks like he's smoking on ineffable shit. So
It's the evil
after
wizard
we-
shit.
after we found this image, and I'm gonna put like basically a slideshow on screen now for you of just all the combinations of this image that we've made, we just started going off the rails, making variations of this picture.
Wow,
there
look
are
at that
analog
right there.
horror versions. There's a Wojak that Rowan drew before he died.
That
tragically.
one is very silly.
Mike.
There's one that I did where I expanded the stogie and made it go right into the lens, so it looks like he's just got it right in your face.
Mike.
I sent it to Aiden and he made a wizard edit. And then it just went off the rails.
Mike, can we talk
Yeah.
about how when you introduced this picture of your shirtless brother, you called
Yeah.
it delicious? Can we talk
No,
about
I
fucking
called
Mike?
the aura delicious. Know the difference, brother.
It is a
Still
delicious
weird,
aura.
dude.
It is a delicious aura. The
DC
picture
finds
is
like the weirdest shit weird. It's crazy.
yeah. DC, you eat the sour powder out of a tin, homie.
Oh my
Order
goodness.
citric acid off of Amazon
and
and
I'm not
lick
done
it.
talking about Nick posting.
It's
I'm almost
malic
done.
acid.
Malic acid. Oh, that's we got something to talk about after that too. But just to wrap up the Nick posting, then it went off the rails and we just started photoshopping things that have like a tube-shaped object in their mouth to being Nick. So I'm gonna put those up. There's a car with a street post in its mouth from a car crash that or in its front, and I photoshopped a
mouth.
stogie into that. Yeah, Aiden or was it Terry? Terry sent one of a carved pumpkin doing the same thing, and then if any of you have seen that picture of the Venus flytrap with the cigarette in its mouth,
Yeah,
Photoshop the
yeah.
stogie into that, throw the cowboy hat on it. That's probably my favorite one. It's so funny looking.
More like penis.
Piranha Plant
After-
really went
And
downhill.
only after 3 actual months of this meme did I tell my brother about any of this. And the thing that really tops it off is that for a while, all of our names on Discord were Nick's something. So mine is Nick's brother, Terry's is Nick's brother's girlfriend, DC says Nick's brother's dunkle,
Sammy
it
was
was-
like Nick's right shoulder.
That
or
was
something.
Nick's
Yeah.
shoulder.
Nick's shoulder.
And I was Nick's
so-
henchman.
It went off the rails. So there's Nick posting for you. Now you're in the loop. Maybe one day we'll have Nick on the pod. He's very country. It'd be very entertaining.
I'd love that.
But to move back a little bit to malic acid and acid in general, I went to the dentist a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Dude, I have cavities in most of my teeth. I had to go cold turkey off soda and energy drinks completely. I haven't had one since then. It's been like 3 weeks now. It
Nice.
hurts. I miss it.
Have you
that's
But
good.
it also motivated me. Like I've been better with my teeth, and I've been working out, like I said earlier. So it's just sort of motivated me to improve my diet and improve my stuff. So shout out fast food, shout out all the gross shit. It is killing you though. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to eat it, but I would recommend you just consider what you're putting in your body, not in like a preachy way, but like I was literally unaware until I felt the holes in my teeth. And dude, when I laid in that dentist chair and he put the x-rays up to my mouth, I ruined this guy's day, my dentist, because it was the last day until February that he had to work. He thought it was going to be easy breezy, and I walked in, and most of my teeth were fucked.
Look.
And the first thing he said was, "You've got your mum's teeth." And I was like, oh, that's not good, because my mum's in the dentist like 3 times a month. I think 3 times a month, or at least once a month. It's pretty bad. My mum's in the dentist a lot.
Look, everyone out there watching this, don't listen to Mike. Bash out your teeth. Right.
I like to hit him with a
I got
history
veneers.
once in a while.
If you're gonna
Your
lose
teeth
them,
are
lose them fighting
receptible by
fascists.
spy satellite. Okay, don't listen to Mike.
I got veneers.
I like my teeth.
You got veneers, Sammy. You got the veneers.
Watch out for pears, bro. Don't bite any pears.
Watch out for the slightest vibration where your fucking teeth are just gonna fling out like Angry Birds.
Yeah, I got veneers.
Get on a roller coaster, you become a shrapnel grenade.
My teeth are actually. I got a piano dropped on my head, and my teeth got replaced with the ivories.
With ivory, yeah. I do a
Like
really
George
good George
Washington.
Washington cosplay now.
I'm really glad
George
DC
Washington
liked
fucking
my joke.
lead. Fucking shrapnel grenade.
Ugh.
More like a brapnel grenade.
Oh my God.
So-called free thinkers when I put a shotgun in their mouth.
Goodness gracious.
So-called free thinkers when I'm
Please.
Courtney Love.
Ooh.
That's gonna get us in trouble.
Do we have any more topics? Because I really need to pee.
I was gonna say that
bef-
was a fun time.
Before we go, I started learning Blender.
Oh yeah.
So last time we talked on the podcast, my main animation software was Clip Studio Paint, and I still love Clip Studio Paint. I still draw on it.
Shout out.
And it does have good animation tools, but god damn you guys, you have converted me. Like being in a server full of Blender people and realizing all of the possibilities with the tool, it's incredibly exciting. So I just want to, this can be my little end of the episode plug too, but I want people to be on the lookout. I have some projects planned.
Yeah.
I really think this is going to level up my
You actually
process,
reminded
so-
me of how I wanted to end this episode, so it's good.
End of episode plug for me as well. My band, I've talked about my band a
Yes.
couple times on this podcast. We dropped our first song. It's on Bandcamp. It's called Bong Shaped Coffin. Check it out, though. I will force Mike to put a link in the description for
Yeah,
it.
I'll
It
put
is
the link in the
sick,
Great
description.
song.
It is
we
really
wrote
good.
it in 45 minutes, and it's just my guitarist and me having a good time. So give it a
Nice.
listen if you're sad or depressed or even if
That's
you're
so
happy.
real.
DC, do you want to plug? Because I have one last little thing that I want to ask you guys before the episode ends. But DC,
Yeah,
give me your plug, and then I'll do mine, and then we do the topic.
It
Okay.
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 No, check
I
out
have not
my-
Fimble
plug.
Winter from DC.
You have a TikTok, Brody.
That's true. You
Just
do.
put my TikTok. It's
Yeah.
fine.
My
DC
plug
art
is
stuff.
one of the last 4 videos I made is woefully low on views in comparison. So go run up that Batman video. It's my favorite one. That video
Oh, did you
fucking
guys-
rocks.
It's my favorite too.
oh,
It's really
shit.
sick.
Guys, go watch all of Mike's videos on 0.25 speed to get him more viewer attention.
Please. But okay, last topic is a little cringe, but and you can tell me to fuck off if you want, but we all know New Year's resolutions are kind of nonsense. But
Okay.
just to sort of look back, like let's say we never make another episode for another 9 months. But if we do or we don't, I want to come back to this episode and just see where we're at and where we're headed. So I just wanted to say, aspiration this year is either to actually sustain myself off YouTube or just learn another skill, like a really good one. If we're going extreme, work at Lego. That would be awesome. And also to get a pilot out for a project.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jesse?
I would say one of my resolutions is to finish off school strong. I had a hard time. Pretty similarly to Sammy, actually. I was just cooler and was able to get through the semester, but but I do.
stronger.
I was going
want,
through a lot more than you were.
I am aware. I'm so
That's
sorry.
true. You were going through
But
some shit.
I wanna finish school strong, And then over the summer, I would also like to release a pilot for one of the projects that I'm working on.
Oh, it's so cool! It's so
go.
cool.
I promise it's really cool. I will
Jesse,
probably be
you gotta
uploading...
tell me more about it because I don't know enough about
I will.
it yet.
And I'll tell people about it soon, but I'll be uploading some animation tests on my channel, and you can check that out.
Yay.
But I really do want that to become a thing.
And it
Sammy.
will. Okay, so my New Year's resolution is get bitches, make
True.
stacks, do drugs. No, but I want to learn a new skill, like what Mike said. I want to learn. I want to really focus on getting better at drawing digitally, and I want to just like in the few days that Kappa's been on it, I want to learn a little bit about Blender. I think
Yes.
now is the time more than ever to just kind of lock in because I've been
You
so
can do
busy. 2023 has been so fucking busy for me. But now that I don't have to worry about school, all I have to worry about is fucking work and my stream schedule, and I can do it. Also, I'm gonna start streaming. Look out for that within the next few weeks to the next few months, because I need to get some stuff figured out, commission a few artists. But it's gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
DC?
Oh, I have a list.
Got the paper.
Gotta scroll.
Look, it's a list. Okay, so one, don't shit myself this year.
Yep.
That's gonna be a
so
real
real.
challenge. I know it. It's happened a few times, and I'm not proud of it. I don't want it to become a habit. Number two, gain political power of some sort.
Okay.
It can be mythical, ethereal. I don't care. I just want power over others.
Nice.
And three, get my actual animation pilot out for my other project that I'm working on.
Nice. Can you add one more thing to the list since you've got like a
there's
definite
one more.
thing? Okay.
There's one more.
The death
Fuck everyone in the group's mom.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
the fourth one.
Hey.
And,
My dad listens to
I
this
think,
podcast. He's gonna come to your house, DC.
Well,
You gotta bleep that.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Can you add one thing to your list, which is all
Sure.
four of you, everyone in this call, including TERRI,
I'm getting my pen.
add it to your New Year's resolution. Get Freddy Dread to fucking pay me.
There you go.
Finally
Mike,
retweeted my
what?
video this
Mike,
year.
How did we not talk about my trip there at all?
Holy shit.
So, we'll have to dedicate another episode. Well, like, okay, yeah, Sammy came to visit me in summer. We had a
We
great
can put
time.
this earlier in the episode. We can just gonna edit it in.
No. I
fuck
really
it, it's
need to
better.
pee.
I promise
wrap
we'll
this up,
do.
brother.
We gotta do another episode soon. We have to.
We'll record another episode maybe in a few days, and we'll just get them stacked up and ready to go.
Go back to weekly uploads.
That would be lovely. I'd love that. Okay, I'm legitimately gonna piss myself.
Okay.
I might just go. You guys start your outro. I'll come back.
Okay.
What? We're
Now that he's gone.
what?
Um.
Fucking hate that guy. That's what I did to you while you left, by the way, Sammy. Is I just said fucking hate that dude.
No, we actually love Mike while he's gone.
We love everybody here. Yeah.
It's sort of a
you
thing
guys-
like hate to see him go, but love to watch him leave. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean, you know the gist. Links are in the bio. If you enjoyed us talking, like, you can go check out all of our work. We're going to be working together a lot more over the coming years, I feel. I think unless one of us dies again, like Rowan did, we might, have another 9-month delay. But like,
I'm on the fast track too.
to be honest, I will say, Rowan didn't die 9 months ago, right? Rowan died like 3 days ago, and we just kind of rushed it because, I mean, grieving period for Rowan wasn't very long, but...
Well, and I mean, it's,
no, we had to change.
Kappa was kind of a last minute.
We had to find a new spot to record because our last spot got. Well, we all know what happened to our last spot. So DC is the next one to die canonically.
Probably.
So
The stroke of midnight.
yeah, if you even care at all, you'll check out other stuff. So we'll
Thank you very
Do
much.
as my grandma does, and don't do stupid shit.
talk to y'all
Real.
later.
All right.
Candy kind of look like This candy kind of looks like Band.